Alright, here we go. So the first thing I want to point out, after watching the podcast, which it was a very good podcast, by the way. It definitely opened my mind up to some things. But first, I would definitely say if I ruled the world, there would be more checks and balances. And essentially, what I mean by that is, yes, I would keep the government and politicians, except it would be more, they would be, essentially, these government agencies would be more of a watchdog. And what I mean by that is they would have less control and power, in the sense that their beliefs wouldn't sway how things are ran as much. So essentially, like, for example, with the Electoral College, how we have a certain number of representatives. If I ruled the world, each group of individuals, whatever a group of individuals believed in or was their representation, there would be an equal number and amount of people who represented that group. So essentially, if there was 10 groups from New York, they would represent New York at a national meeting of some sorts, if that makes sense. And also, another big thing that I would take away, as crazy as it sounds, is I would actually take away physical cash. So, in the sense of everyone would be able to buy, whatever they needed. So, for example, if someone needed food but they didn't have the physical money for it at the time, you could essentially go on some sort of app and buy groceries, and then that app also knows, okay, you get paid on this date, and then they take the money then. So yes, you could go into debt essentially, but also you still have that accessibility immediately, no matter what, or whatever, no matter what financial decisions you've made in the past, if you've made a mistake with your credit, or so on and so forth. So I think those would be the two big things that I would change. Also, with the government, as quote unquote government itself, if I ruled the world, I also believe that there would be more accessibility to affordable housing. That's a big thing, that I would make sure everyone had some sort of affordable housing, so there would be absolutely no price gouging in rent, none of that whatsoever. So I think those are just the three big things that, if I ruled the world, that's kind of what I would make sure was happening. So thank you, and have a good night.